Gentlemen, I greet you all. Welcome to Australia, and thank you for taking the time to come on.
Great Australia, great.
Yeah. Nice to be here for the first time.
Yeah. It's for the first time in, man, that album came out 76, 77.
77, to be precise.
Thank you, we like precise.
Great.
Okay, so in the yard, I have the great Cedric.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be in Australia.
Thank you. Roy, Ashanti Roy,
yes.
Closer to the microphone for me.
It's a pleasure for me to be in Australia, you know. Yes.
Watty Burnett, of course.
It's more a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to be here. And guess what? I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay right here.
And Talash, who's sitting here with these gentlemen.
It's a great pleasure to be here.
And I hear he's the youngest recruit, you tell me.
Oh, great. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's real.
Cedric, way back when, from 73 to 74, the Royal Rasses.
Oh, yes. Well, before the Royal Rasses, it was the Tartans. Yeah, we did the People Gonna Dance All Night for the federal recording in Jamaica.
Yeah.
By the Couriers then.
And then you went and formed with Prince Lincoln?
Yeah, with Prince Lincoln we formed the Royal Rasses together. We did the Humanity album.
Yeah.
Yeah, special.
It was very special.
Great.
But what has always been very special about your sound, about the sound that you first started putting out with Roy, was that it was so different from the dancehall and from everything else that was happening at that time, the music that was emerging at that time.
Yes, it was like a churchical combination. It was spiritual vibes. For when I met Ashanti Roy then, in those days, you know, it was through a churchical communication, the Nyabingi, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I and Ashanti Roy link up within the passage of that time. Great.
And then you went and approached, I can't remember. I've read so many different things about this. You approached Lee, or Lee approached you?
No, well,
about
to be honest, Ashanti Roy know Lee more than I. Then, you know, and we were working together, and then Ashanti said, come said, you know, so we're going to check upset, you know, we're going to check scratch, we're going to check the upset, you know. And so, well, it was a pleasure when we went and see Lee. And as we go on, the first song we tried to do also, it was the Solid Foundation song, and it was a churchical atmosphere, you know. It was a churchical vibes. And Lee loved it and said, yeah, man, come in, you know. It was like, you know, a big brother to a young, you know, for we were still, I still younger than Lee, you know.
Yeah.
And him and Ashanti Roy go way back. So when him see Ashanti Roy come, it was a pleasure for him to see Ashanti Roy come in at the zone.
Roy, did you go to school with Lee Scratchberry?
Yeah.
Did I read that right? What was he like at school?
Yeah, well, he was just a nice person, you know. He always physical, doing things all the while, you know, playing gigs and marbles, and he was the best of every little thing, you know. Yeah. But
and tell me, I mean, there's a lot of great respect and I guess a lot of mystery and curiosity about the Black Ark. What was the Black Ark Studio like when you went there?
It was just a one-room stuff.
very small.
A small studio.
No windows.
No windows.
No windows.
One way in and one way out.
But it was special.
Yeah.
For at the front of the ark, it have like
It's a shoebox, man.
it's a shoebox. I know it's a shoebox. But you know, it designed at the front. There is a little design at the, you know, a little like a little horseshoe design at the front there, you know. So it's a little scientific place.
Yeah.
Would bring out scientific music.
Of course, because he was totally into his scientific music at that time.
Oh, great.
I mean, when you hear the album, The Heart of the Congos, and you check the back to see who played on that album, and you talk about how tiny that Black Ark Studio is, with people like Ernest Ranglin.
Oh, great.
you know,
Boris
Gregory
Gardner.
Isaacs,
Winston Wright.
Oh,
Yeah,
great!
Winston
Winston
Wright,
Wright
great
was
bass player.
great,
Amazing bass player.
great keyboard and
Keyboard.
great bass.
Yeah.
For he is the one that played bass on Congo Man.
That's right.
Boris Gardner, all those legends.
Oh,
Yeah.
great!
Sterling.
Yeah,
So
Keith Sterling.
did he actually get them all in the studio at the same time?
Yeah,
or did-
yeah.
So you all must have been sitting on each other's laps.
No, not really. It have a little space there, you know. It have a little space, and India was very hot too.
And what happened? Why the music so good, right? When you go in the studio, you want to get out because it's so hot. So you just like one cut, you just do what you can do and get out and get some fresh air. So the music gets great, you know.
So the music that you had for Heart of the Congos, you had a lot of that already written before you took it in.
Yes,
two of
yeah.
you?
We go
yes.
prepare.
Yeah.
The only song we made there, if I can recall, to be precise, is
Congo.
no. It was the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah,
For Perry came in and said, "Well, we should make a song about the Ark."
Yeah.
And right away, the same day we create that song, Ark of the every morning the black sun rises. You know, so it's created by the mystic. You know, it's scientifical and it's spiritual.
Yeah, it's deeply spiritual.
And it's great.
It's worse.
But what really happened? I started with Scratch from 1968 as a solo
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and then I never leave him up to this day. I'm still with him.
Yeah,
And-
Watty, you've done a lot of work
Yeah, a lot.
in your own right, as well as doing session stuff with someone, you know, from Bob Marley through.
Yeah, I do the vocal with Bob. I do with Jimmy Cliff
Yeah.
and Juna Mervyn, Juna Biles. Probably everybody that work with Scratch.
Yeah.
Doing something, either percussion, background vocals, or something. I don't. It doesn't matter.
And
Yeah.
the great meditation.
Yeah. A lot of work we do.
Yeah, excellent. And so, of course, you all got back together with Scratch last
Yes,
year.
and guess
Year
what
before?
happened? Going
What?
back with Scratch. Is
Yeah,
like
quite a few. How long we link up back with Scratch now? Since
1 year?
No.
Since we go back.
You remember
4
the
years.
first one was that water boat festival.
In-
You
Oh,
remember
I mean,
that
working together.
water boat festival? You remember that water boat festival there?
That was in
the Muddy Festival there.
Yeah, that was in
Copenhagen.
Copenhagen.
Yeah,
yes.
Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that really strikes me about the album, about Heart of the Congos and everything that happened after that, was the album came out. No one made any money out of it. There was or maybe some people did, but you guys didn't.
It was shelved. Put it that way.
was shelved.
Yeah, it was shelved.
And it wasn't until Blood and Fire actually released it in '96
Then it gets recognition.
that people, you know, because up to that it had been such a rarity
Yeah.
Yes.
that you guys finally got the respect that you
Yeah,
so
true,
rightly
true.
and richly
And get some food
deserve.
out of it.
And get some food out of it. Put some food on the table.
Yeah.
And yet, again, you're working with Lee. That's an
That's
amazing
history.
cycle.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
That's an amazing cycle. And the album that you released last year, Back
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Covenant.
Back
Back
No.
in the Black Ark.
Yeah, back in the Black Ark.
Yeah.
It's also a masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece.
Great.
Indeed, it is a masterpiece. I have an outtake. Oh, no, it's not an outtake. It's just one of the releases that Lee put on this Black Ark anthology that I so really like.
It's an antique.
It's an antique.
Don't blame it on I tell you how now.
I'm not going to. It's a version. I could do that, you know. I will play that in a minute.
Oh, great,
But
great.
it is the unreleased version of Congo Man,
Oh, yes. Great.
which is such a beautiful song.
great.
And I'd actually like you guys, if you know, feel like singing along or whatever else, you
It's
take
a-
it from there.
It's an antique.
There must have been amazing times, and as we said, the cream of Jamaican reggae and dub were in those studios with you. I'm also thinking about guys like Sly Dunbar.
Oh, great. Great.
Extraordinary musician.
Yes, Ernest Ranglin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've also...
Gladstone Anderson.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Winston
and Mr.
Wright.
Wright. I mean, he supplied the bass
Yeah,
for that.
Winston Wright played the
Right,
bass
yeah.
on that song.
Yeah, incredible musician. And then you all kind of went your separate ways. After no, there was another album after this. I'm sorry.
And yeah, no, well, we did
Congo Ashanti.
Congo Ashanti.
Yeah.
And we also did the
Image of Africa.
image of Africa.
Yes.
And then there was a split.
Yeah.
You know.
And did you also did some work with the beat?
Oh, the
That's-
English beat.
The
And
English beat?
Yeah, the English
Yeah.
beat. With the Go Feet, you know, Rest the Record.
Yeah.
There were some great guys. Dave Wakelin,
Yeah.
Shuffler, Andy Cox, the whole crew. Ranking Raja, you know.
Oh, Rankin Roger.
Oh, great kids, great kids, great kids.
Kids, you call them from
Oh,
your,
yes. No, they were younger kids than I.
I think we all were at some stage. Okay, and then you went and lived in the States.
Yes, it's
The heart of
all over.
Babylon.
Oh, the art of the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how was it? How was the reception in America?
Well,
for what
you
you were
know,
doing at the
America is
time?
such a wide place. If you're not in the right league, you're lost.
Yeah.
You know, it might sound away, but it's a real reality, you know. That's why after a certain time, I really had to go back to Jamaica. To, you know, I leave my family there and say, well, I just can't take it anymore. I have to run away from this.
Yeah.
Closing it, I mean, to me, it was closing in on me.
Yeah.
Too much. It was suppressing also the music too,
Yeah.
you know.
That and the music, yeah, as you say, the music was going in very different directions
Also.
at that stage. Yeah.
Great.
And I guess also, you know, to go back to your own island, your own home, where you'd had you'd been part of, you know, like reggae history. I don't want to try and make you sound really old or anything.
Oh, no. It's good. It's good.
part of reggae.
It's good to be whole. It's good to be young. It's good to be here in this time.
You're
For
what's
we
your-
we were preserved for this moment to be in Australia.
You certainly were, because way back in the 70s, when you know, Kingston wasn't the safest place to be living, where you had a lot of fighting going on, a lot of political fighting going on as well. There was this situation where you managed to stand up for Rasta, and you managed to get things changed just a little bit for Rasta with
Yes.
Michael Manley.
Well, it was in 1976, the 8th of January.
You'll never forget it.
Never forget it. It's dated. You know, it was Ethiopian Christmas, and we're coming from Bull Bay. We have a Ethiopian Christmas celebration on the beach in Bull Bay. And I was riding my bike, coming from Bull Bay, and when I reached Denham Town, I was stopped by some police.
Is this in the evening? Late
No,
in the
it was in the morning, about 11.
Oh, wow.
Oh, to be precise, it was about 11 o'clock in the morning there. And anyone looked like Rasta. They were getting beaten and trimmed. So at the Denham Town police station. So that's what happened there. I was beaten there, trimmed. Our bald in a moment. Yes.
Against your will.
Yeah, against my will. And so, you know, it take it to another level for my wife also. At the same time, my kid, Jabuki, was going to the Jamaica House Basic School because of another history movement. When he was going, first time out to go to school, because he was a little dreadlock, we paid a fee for him to go to school, and when they realized that he was a dread, they said, no, we can't take no dread here, you know. So we said, okay, pop to the Gleaner, and Gleaner was a little doubtful of to put it out, for maybe Gleaner was afraid.
The newspaper.
Yeah. So we go to the Daily News, and the Daily News said, what? Right on the front page the other day. So the following day, it was in the headline, Rasta kids, blah, 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 out to school, blah, 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 blah. And so, first, Siago, he sent someone to find out, and in another moment, Michael Mandley, he sent someone to find out what was going on too. So, right away, they sent for a car for us, and we went to. It was a old history.
The Prime Minister of the day, met with you.
Yeah, great. So, you know, it was a bridge for the Rasta people, and you know, also they wanted was to pay me for my locks that they trim.
Ah.
You know, that was Michael Mann, the government, and I said to them, well, if you can pay all the people that you trim, you can pay me then. But if you can't pay all the people, you know, so that was it, you know, and it was true that now there was a delegation from the Rasta House to Jamaica House, and it was a big thing. It was a very big thing for then we go to Jamaica House, busload of Rasta and the lawn of Jamaica House. In Jamaica House, we have a big meeting with Michael and his syndicate, and also all the big guys, you know, that they should not trim the Rasta anymore and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's a part of the government.
Absolutely. You stopped a lot of oppression.
Yeah.
How is Rasta in 2011? Is it that much easier?
Yes, it's much easier for during the passage of time. A lot of load it's been taken off.
Yeah,
you know.
Rasta gain respect now.
Good.
Yes.
As Rasta should.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
As Rasta should.
If the Babylon who trim Cedric,
Yeah.
if he see Cedric now, he's sorry. Because the policemen in Jamaica now,
Yeah.
the only people I think they call to on the street is a Rasta man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I
Understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rasta around there.
Yeah.
So after this, after you went and lived in the States, and Ashanti Roy, you were doing your own music. You were doing stuff with Adrian Sherwood.
Oh, yes, I went to
And
England.
Prince Farah and Mikey Dread.
Yes. I used to work with Adrian Sherwood for a time, you know.
Yeah, on the Mighty On
In
You
the
label.
18s, yes, and the new sound label. I did about 3 albums with him, you know.
Yeah.
And then we come out with a 45 African Blood, and it went very good in in England, you know.
Singers and Players.
Singers and Players, yes. That was a nice album, you know.
Yeah.
And then Prince Farah is another thing, you know. I used to play for Prince Farah, you know.
Prince Farah was was a shepherd
Very-
for Adrian
very nice,
Sherwood,
very
wasn't
nice.
he?
Yes, he recorded for Adrian Sherwood.
But really looked after him and guided him, and it was a terrible shock when he died.
Yes, very much, you know.
Yeah.
When we missed Prince Farah, it was a shock for all of us, you know.
Yeah.
He's a very nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much nice.
And what have you been up to outside of the Congos during these years?
Sometimes they say I was up to no good. I mean,
Can we get you closer to the microphone? People want to hear these stories of your trickery.
I was just trying to be funny. What you up to? Well, what happened? I went to New York, and I'm still living in New York.
You're still living in New York?
Over 33 years now.
Wow.
And the music industry, the problem get to my head that all I was doing was making tracks, keeping them. But I was going on my trade as an electrician.
Yeah.
With a pool company, which I didn't want to do, but just through I have that experience. I'm an electrician by trade.
And you got to eat.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I got stagnant for a while. It wasn't just chill out, writing, and not releasing anything until now.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. But I never give up. I never really stopped doing music.
Yeah.
But you know, when everything come to certain thing, I said, oh, you know, the music was going to a different direction, which I didn't want to go. It just had to come back now through the grey-beard man like me, saying, no, you guys can't take it that way. Because what people call in dancehall now, we are the first dancehall. We were the first dancehall.
Yeah.
But what they call in reggae now, I mean, younger people, it's not reggae. we
Or-
do the first dancehall, Bob Marley, everybody.
Yeah.
Because our music got it dub. That's what dancehall do. So I want to tell the younger people that we doing dancehall from birth.
Well, the original dancehall
Dancehall.
for Art of the Congos was a dancehall mix,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Art of the Congos is more than one mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, of the album.
Which is what we are going to be seeing on Sunday night when
Great.
you play to
Great.
close the Australasian World Music Expo.
On a high note, we just started to get respect now.
Yeah.
Now, not
And
like
that-
yesterday. Yeah.
And that is a crying shame.
Yeah,
It's like, but it
surely.
is also that the youth.
And you know what's funny about it? Is our own people in Jamaica. I can say it loud, I don't care. Never respect us. No, because it's people like foreigners. I don't want to say any color, but say it then, the white people. Yeah, the white people
Yeah.
keep the music alive. And who don't like it?
It's obviously a frustration for
It is
you,
true.
though, Watty. That you know it is. You know, the perception is that people from overseas are keeping this music alive and not
Yes.
getting that respect at
I know,
home.
I know.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, I was in a studio there in New York, and some young kids came in. Look at me. I'm daddy trying something.
Yeah.
They don't know who I was, and the engineer said, "Oh, what are you talking about? You trying something? You trying something? You know, with that, you know, with that, as a legend, Congos. You trying something, not him." So they just see me and just know. But I can say, when they find out who we are, like it doesn't matter who is on top, for instance, the younger people, whenever they say Congos, they all give us respect.
As
all,
they
all
should.
the artists, them, yes,
Yeah.
I can say that.
Mm.
From Beanie Man to everyone, when they see Congos, they say, yes, father.
Yeah.
And I'm happy now.
Good.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Some people get rich quick and they're not here. But I am still rich. I was born rich.
Mm.
Musically, spiritually.
You were born with your culture.
Yeah. And I won't let that go.
Yeah.
I won't swap it for nothing.
Yeah.
But it's good to be here and we're still young, preserve.
Yeah.
You see what I did? I went into the cold to get
Preserve?
preserved.
Some people pickle themselves, some people smoke themselves. You went into the cold.
Yeah. And in the ice box.
And Talash, the quiet one, sitting in the corner, just sitting quietly. When did you join the Congos?
How much years ago, Kuto?
Long time, 10 years or so.
We have moved long time, but you know, get in with the Congos because during the time when I was with Studio One,
Yeah.
maybe I will have it with Colonel Campbell. The
Okay,
The
yeah.
Eternals.
Yeah.
We used to move. We know each other and
One family.
reason same and thing like that.
I guess that's something that people forget about reggae. Now that reggae is I guess, a global phenomenon with people making the music all over the world. Back then, even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Jamaica's a small island. You all kind of knew each other. You could all
Everyone know each other.
You checked each other. You
Yeah,
knew
dating.
exactly
Yeah,
what
reason
everybody
and
else was doing. It was this tight community.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that, you know, Cornell Campbell, or
Yeah.
people from
We are
Studio
coming
One.
from in the 60s, you know,
Yeah,
with Colonel.
yeah.
um,
So when
late
you're not with these sprightly young men, what else are you doing in your own singing, with your own
I
voice?
never stop singing.
Yeah.
Never.
Who are you working with at the
Well,
moment?
I do all my own thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I hope
I-
you brought some with you
Yeah,
because
I-
I've been looking for it.
Yeah, I put out my own song and thing like that.
Terrific. Great. I will check you on that.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
make sure we get some.
Right.
One of the other things I really admire you guys about is that you're not sitting back and resting on your laurels saying, we are the Congos, this is what we've done, everything else is rubbish. You're working with these new bands. You're working with bands like Groundation. You're working with other bands that are coming from Brazil or from Europe or whatever
Yeah, yeah.
else. You're passing this knowledge on. Do you enjoy working with
Yeah.
It's a
young
pleasure.
musicians?
I enjoy every time I
It's
go
a,
to the
it's
studio.
a pleasure. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure.
So what kind of bands have you been working with recently?
Well, we work with everyone, you know. To be honest, even in Brazil, we have some friends there. Porto Libre.
Porto Libre,
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's some young kids, but they trying to search the culture, you know. And you know, Brazil at this moment in time, I can see Brazil is wide open for the Rasta culture.
And they've got the World Cup coming.
Oh yes. So it's a pleasure, you know, to see that people can endorse the work, you know, and love what we have done all these years, and
what we still
and
doing.
what we're doing now. Yeah.
Yeah. And Groundation as
Oh,
well.
Groundation, they have been tracking us for during the passage of time.
They've been stalking
Yeah,
you.
they have been tracking us. They've been stalking us. You know,
Talkers.
for even
I'm not surprised.
Harrison. The first time we met was he was going to college. He was going to school. You know, so we met him in school until he formed his own stuff, and we worked together, and we did lots of things together. Even now, we're still working together.
Yeah.
Nice person.
It's a pleasure.
You've actually brought in back in the Black Ark, the Congos, which is an album I've been looking for and trying to track down. And I would, first of all, I would like to finish the interview with your blessing, and then I would like to play a track from this. Which track would you choose?
I would say We Were Preserved, Garden of Life.
Oh, one of my favourites, The Garden of Life.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic song. I've just got to count up now and see exactly where it is.
Or that's
that
a song. That's a song. Lee Perry, he endorsed. I mean, when I say endorse, when we go to meet him at the airport,
Yeah.
his words were, "We were preserved."
Yes.
That was his final word. We were preserved. So we go home and try and make that song.
But Garden of Life was Boris Gardner, yeah?
Yes, Barris
Yeah, all
Gordon.
the old crew still
Yeah,
there,
it was an old crew.
Yeah.
Same
I
old group.
love that. So it's wonderful to hear this. Well, Cedric, if you'd like to finish with a blessing, to call down the blessing for the gig
Oh,
on
great.
Sunday
Oh, great.
for all of our listeners who
Oh, great.
are great fans.
And to the world, at this moment in time,
Yes.
the Congos bless up
Bless
Australian people.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here in this time to share this moment with you people.
Yes.
And on Sunday, it would be spectacular. We'll be running from corner to corner, from pillar to post.
Yes.
And remember, I'll be looking for you.
Good people, it's a pleasure to be here in this time. And for we were preserved.
In the garden of life.
Of life.
No apology.